So here's a look at the Nets' upcoming road games that Kyrie is eligible to play in. So after tonight's game in Indiana, the Nets come home for 2 games before then heading to Chicago and Portland for an ESPN game that's in Chicago later in the month. Kyrie will visit his former team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, on the 17th. So, Richard, as a player, how would you approach this potential situation of having Kyrie as home court advantage versus road court advantage? Is that something that Kevin Durant or James Harden or players even think about?
Yeah, you have to think about it because your style of play is going to be consistent, especially when you have a James Harden and when you have a Kevin Durant. Like, you have a way that you're playing very similar to what they did this last year. But this year it's going to be, I think, more conversations. As coaches, you have to have more conversation with the other players. Like, hey, look, on the road, when Kyrie's playing, this is probably going to be the lineup. This is what we're going to do. At home, you're going to get more minutes, more opportunities. So it's more of the next group of guys that you have to make sure that communication is very set and very clear, because it's difficult. Role players need systems and need rhythm. And with Kyrie coming in and out of the lineup, it can affect the role players.
Right. So, Brian, what are the long-term ramifications then of this strategy for Brooklyn?
You know, Richard, you and Perk are talking about this with a lot of nuance. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in the modern history of the NBA, and I have no idea how it's going to work. And I really have no idea how it's going to work if this is status quo when we come to the playoffs, where the Nets are going to be like, do we want home court advantage?
Right.
Or do we want Kyrie advantage? Because I think you'd rather have Kyrie in a Game 7 if even if it was on the road versus playing at home. And this whole home road thing, their schedule is difficult because of the lost games due to COVID. For example, Malika, you just showed that their next road game after tonight is at Portland. Well, guess what? They have the most insane back-to-back I've ever seen in my time in the NBA. They play at home on Sunday afternoon in Brooklyn, and they play Monday in Portland, Oregon. That is a back-to-back, New York and Portland. If I'm Nets, I'm not even sending Harden and Durant out to Portland. I'll say I'll meet you in Chicago. So I don't even know who's going to play in that game. So, yes, bottom line, is half a Kyrie better than no Kyrie? Yes. That this is going to work and lead them to their championship aspirations, I don't know, guys.
Well, this is going to be one of those discussions like around the bubble. Is it harder, a championship, to win it when you had a part-time Kyrie? Is it easier if you had a part-time Kyrie? There are so many questions still swirling around the situation, including how COVID continues to change and adapt in the country. Are we going to see New York's laws continue to tighten up like we've been seeing recently with the new variant? Or are they going to change to allow him to play more games? Or is he going to get vaccinated and play more games? There are so many questions here.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.